You. Come on. Hurry the fuck up. Come the fuck up. Okay. Almost done. Alrighty. Let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Any of y'all hear that? Yeah, alright. Nice way to begin the day with the, or should I say night, with that old school 90s animated X-Men. Not sure if you guys been living under a rock, but today it was just announced that Fox has taken Disney's bid about maybe a week or two ago. Comcast had been trying to rebid for Fox's assets. They countered Disney's bid with like a $64 billion bid, and then Disney just came out today and just said, "Bam, how you like that?" With a bid of $71.3 billion, which Fox graciously accepted. So, bye-bye Comcast. The news is that they will need to go through the what's known as antitrust. I will pull that up right now. Come on. Are you kidding me? Come on. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? Okay, here we go. Disney is near U.S. antitrust approval on Fox in a blow to Comcast. Good. Fuck Comcast. I'll just read it from Bloomberg.com. Walt Disney Company is closing to winning U.S. antitrust approval for its $71 billion deal for 20th Century Fox Inc.'s 20th Century Fox Inc.'s entertainment assets, according to a person familiar with the matter, creating a potentially insurmountable hurdle for a rival bid from Comcast. The Justice Department is set to approve the deal in as soon as 2 weeks. Noise. So the person who declined to be named because the investigation is confidential, Disney has agreed to sell some assets to address competition problems stemming from the tie-up, according to the person. Disney and Fox agreed in a merger agreement to sell assets in Fox's regional sports networks. Oh, so now Disney owns the sports networks. I thought they let the sports networks alone. So yeah, Disney now pretty much owns, like, they apparently, according to this, they own 2.5% of the news. Like, oh my god, like, Disney is just, they own everything. They own half of the world. I've been saying that for years. Disney owns half of the fucking world. But you don't care about that. If you're a Disney Marvel nerd, I mean, if you're a Marvel nerd, what matters is that now X-Men and Fantastic Four are back at Marvel. Hell yeah. And so now we will get to see the X-Men interacting with the Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man. Well, maybe not, because what's it called? Chris Evans is done. Robert Downey Jr. is done. So yeah, but I mean, this is something that we wish could happen maybe a little longer ago, because Hugh Jackman's done. Hugh Jackman's already retired from the role. There's no telling if Ryan Reynolds will stay on, which I'm positive he will. So now you're just gonna have new people, which is gonna be maybe a little less cool, because we've always wanted to see that scene of seeing Robert Downey Jr. and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine interacting. Unfortunately, it won't happen, but I don't know. There have been rumors that it might happen, but Hugh Jackman's already made it clear that he's done. Sorry, there's something on my foot. Yeah, this doesn't really sit well with a lot of people, because the talk that came out a while back was that Disney would have to at least fire at least over I think the number was either 2,000 or 20,000 workers. So, I mean, this is good for the fans, but for the people that had to work hard at Fox, they might just lose their jobs. So, I mean, I feel sorry for those people that worked hard that had to lose their jobs, but it's, I don't know what else to say. The talk going around is that New Mutants will be the first Fox MCU film. And let me just pull up this article real quick. Yeah, I can't find it. It's on Comcast, but I don't know. I'm not gonna play it because I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, let's remember New Mutants is said to be the first Fox MCU film, which I guess it makes sense. That kind of makes sense. I mean, it'd make more sense if Dark Phoenix, would lead into the MCU, because I don't want to just have an entirely new cast of mutants. You would want to keep James McAvoy on. You would want to keep, Michael Fassbender on. I mean, as fans, we would love to see Hugh Jackman back, but most of that shit probably won't happen. The rumor is that James McAvoy and Fassbender are supposed to appear in New Mutants. So, I don't know. There's always hope. But, yeah, it's said in the Justice Department will meet with them in 2 weeks. So, I don't know. The talk is that, this Disney Fox deal or, the X-Men and Fantastic Four probably won't even appear in Marvel until, like, maybe even next year or the year after. I mean, this shit can't just get done overnight. But you never know. Things happen. So, I mean, that's good news. On a little sadder news, former wrestling great Vader passed away today. Vader was a big name back in the 90s. I didn't start watching wrestling until 97, so I didn't really get to see Vader in his heyday, but just clips from WWE Network and just old school wrestling tapes I have, like, best of WCW, WWF. Just seeing him, he was the man. Like, he's someone that was, like, no pun intended, he was huge. There's not a lot of big men that could move around like him. Like, he was able to do that Vader bomb, which was impressive, and to this day it still is. Let me pull up the article real quick. He was 63 years old. Ugh. Vader's son actually, his son actually posted the announcement of his father passing away. He actually died of heart failure after battling pneumonia over the past month. White, who had a variety of heart issues in recent months, had open heart surgery in late March. I know there was that thing that came out a while back that he said he went to a doctor and his doctor had given him, not that much time to live. It sucks. I mean, this is a little heartbreaking. I remember Vader from Boy Meets World. I mean, as silly as that sounds, he was on an episode of Boy Meets World where he, played the. I don't know if there's any Boy Meets Girl, fans up in here, but he played the father of one of, like, the bullies, and I think he was on like 2 episodes, I believe. He came out and he wrestled Corey, the main character, and then wrestled Eric, and then Mr. Feeney came in and just, put a kibosh on the whole thing and told him to leave, and Vader challenged him to a Texas death match, which, we never got, unfortunately. I think Mr. Feeney could have gotten some offense in it. But, yeah, with Vader, it's one of those things where it's sad. It's always sad when someone passes away, except if you're Triple X, Chichin, whatever the fuck his name was. But, that's not here nor there. With Vader, it's sad, but at the same time, you saw the signs. The guy, his whole life has always been very, somewhat robust. And I'm just being honest here. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just kind of pointing out the facts. He's always been a big guy. He says he's had heart problems. And, he said a while back that his doctor told him, have a lot to live. And, that's basically how it is. It's, rest in power to Vader. he should have been in the Hall of Fame long ago, but for whatever reason, WWE just kept fucking with it. They're more than likely going to have to put him in at the next one. They should have put him in the Hall of Fame, like, all fucking ready. I have no idea why they didn't want to do it. But, hey, I don't work for the WWE. And at this point, I'm glad I don't. It's just kind of shifting to another topic. Since we're already talking about wrestling, it's kind of to another topic. It just seems, that the shows are just not good to watch. And it's not the talent. It's not really the talent. It's not the talent's fault. There's some good talent there. You got, on Raw, you got Kevin Owens, you got Sami Zayn, you got Seth Rollins, who's, without a doubt the best babyface on the brand. And for whatever reason, they made him lose to Dolph Ziggler, which that made zero sense. And then on SmackDown, to me, it probably has the best talent. But I don't know. It just seems like nothing's working. It's hard to watch. Oh, what the fuck? I think I pressed mute accidentally. But it's one of those things where I still support wrestling no matter what. There's been some dark times. There's always been dark times, but I'm still a fan nonetheless. I'll still watch the pay-per-views. I'll still review the pay-per-views. I'll review NXT, TakeOver, but at the same time, it's, I'm not invested in it as much as I used to, because it just seems like the same old bullshit nowadays, where I can talk for hours on end on why we hate Roman Reigns and why Roman Reigns is not the guy, but that's just kind of beating a dead horse. It's just rough to watch. I'm seeing why people are, kind of gliding towards, New Japan. I'm not a New Japan guy, and you're not going to hear me on here talk about how I love New Japan and how Kenny Omega is this and that, and how Naito and Okada are the second comings of Jesus. But I see why. I see why people like it, because they treat it like a sport. They treat it like a competition. Kind of like NXT. The reason why you watch NXT TakeOver and you don't hear CM Punk chants or you see a beach ball. As a matter of fact, funny fact is that at NXT TakeOver Chicago, somebody actually pulled out a beach ball and the crowd started booing that guy. The very next night on Money in the Bank, someone pulled out a beach ball during the Roman Reigns and Jinder match, and no one seemed to give a fuck. Because people are tired of what they see on the main roster. And which is why anytime you see a promising young talent on NXT, in the back of your mind, you're scared to death, because when they go on the main roster, they're going to fuck with them. It's like Keith Lee. I don't know much about him. As a matter of fact, I don't know anything about him. I know he's, from maybe clips I've seen of him, he's very talented, and he's actually a San Antonio guy, not being biased. And, again, I don't know too much about him. I mean, people seem to think he's, something good, and he's obviously good if they signed him. But there's always that kind of creep in the back of your mind thinking they're going to fuck with him. They're going to give him a stereotypical black man gimmick. They're going to have him go out there and, be Brodus Clay 2.0 and have the Funkadelic was next to him. I can already see it coming. Oh my gosh. Yikes. And as much as I like to hope I'm joking, that's probably what's going to happen. Same thing with Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano is the most over guy in NXT. You put him on the main roster, what's going to fucking happen? They're going to have him fucking job out to Jinder. I can already see it. So it's just, I don't know. I don't know what else to say anymore. You won't hear me talk too much about what happened on Raw or SmackDown, because it's a combination of me not having time to watch it or just not really being invested to watching it. But I caught some of Raw and SmackDown this week. Well, SmackDown, no, because I was working late on Tuesday, but Raw, I caught it. Kind of the same old bullshit. You had Finn, jobbing to Baron, who looks like a waiter for whatever reason. What else? Ronda Rousey is suspended, quote unquote, for a month for attacking Kurt Angle and then powerbombing Alexa Bliss through a table. Like I mentioned earlier, Seth Rollins had to drop the Intercontinental title, to Dolph Ziggler for whatever reason, which I don't get why he couldn't just drop it to Elias, but whatever. And that's pretty much my whole synopsis of Raw. SmackDown, from what I heard, wasn't that much better. Rusev is now the number one contender for the WWE Championship, which is good. Rusev has been over since like the better towards of last year when they started the whole Rusev Day chant. And he's been over, and for whatever reason, the company just doesn't give two shits. They are literally looking for a reason to fire this guy. They've been wanting to fire him since they found out that he was actually marrying Lana. And now it just seems like they want to fire him for anything. They're just looking for that reason. If they even like remotely hear about him, and if they even hear about him and Lana even just like having an argument at an airport over what to eat for dinner, they're gonna fire his ass. Anyways, yeah, Rusev versus AJ is something new. Rusev, I think that can be a good match. That can be a good feud. I'm not sure if Rusev is working as the heel, because at the end of the match he shook AJ's hand, so I'm not sure if he's working heel or not. I'm still not even sure if he's a heel now, because the people cheer the shit out of him and they give him the Rusev Day chant, so I don't know. Jeff Hardy brought back the face paint, preferably the face paint that he wore in TNA, with the eyeballs on his eyelids, which I thought was pretty cool. He'll be wrestling Shinsuke. I'm assuming it will be a ladder match at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view for the United States title. I'd be excited for this match if they didn't completely ruin Shinsuke. They've turned him into the Japanese Hamburglar, as John Draper would say, and it's tough to watch. They even have it in that new fucking WWE Champions game on where you can play on your phone. He's doing the motion of low blowing, which is like, you're turning a guy who can probably even kick your ass in real life, and you're having him low blow people. How is that a heel thing? That's a pussy heel thing. Make him a cool heel. And then you had Carmella come out and suck, as usual. Which, I just want the belt off of her like already. But they brought back Ellsworth, which I'm happy, and he makes her interesting. They shouldn't have fired him in the first place. But I don't work for the WWE. What else? What else is on the agenda? Oh yeah, Big Cass released. Big Cass is finally gone. William Morrissey, that was his name apparently. He was released from WWE. He apparently had been. The backstage vibe on him was that they've been wanting to release him for the longest time. And this was actually due to two events. Let me just pull them up real quick. I know one of them had to do with like being in an airplane or something. But come on. I'm sorry. Pro wrestling shit. Alright, this isn't me. Blah, blah, blah. Alright, as first reported, Big Cass won against the director of Vince McMahon last month during a segment with a little person. We're told this is when things began to go south for him. According to Sports Illustrated, Big Cass was apparently drinking during the European tour, which took place a week later, and allegedly had attitude issues. They also claim being intoxicated in public is one of the underlying reasons for his firing. Multiple sources tell us the incidents which rubbed people the wrong way happened in private, however, on the WWE bus chauffeuring talent. We're told the bathroom lock was apparently broken, but Cass didn't realize it and thought he was being pranked. After being stuck inside for too long, claustrophobic / angry Cass broke down the door. This meant people had to embarrassingly use a bathroom afterward with no door. And that's about it. And the 30-year-old wrestled at Money in the Bank in a losing effort against Daniel Bryan. I kind of had that feeling he was gone. I know a lot of people were saying that, or kind of hinting that this might be his last, his last stance here. Because, alright, it's weird. You bring him back. He comes back after being gone for... I know he got hurt in August. Came back in April, so that's... Like 8 months? Oh, Texas Podcast Massacre liked one of my tweets. Hey guys, what's up? Be sure to listen to them, actually. If you love horror movies as much as I do, head over to them. Those guys are fucking awesome. And I'm not just being biased, I'm not kissing ass. I'm being for real. They are fucking awesome. Look them up through their website. Look them up through Spotify, iTunes. You can also find them on Google Play. And then their shit's actually on YouTube as well. So they're friggin' awesome. I love them. I would love to be on that show. I hope you guys are listening. What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, Big Cass. Yeah, I remember watching that match, and because I assumed there was going to be like a fuck finish, like he wins by DQ or he loses by DQ or something, or he cheats. But yeah, he lost clean to Daniel Bryan, not even to like Daniel Bryan's finishing move, but to like some type of leg lock. I just remember thinking in my head, like, what's next? Are they going to continue the feud? Or what the fuck's going to happen? And lo and behold, he's gone. Which, that's not really that shocking, or I'm not heartbroken over it. It's just weird. You look at the landscape of, like, the whole End Zone cast, with Carmella, stable, where out of all those three, Carmella's the only one that still has a job, and she's the only one that's being successful, quote unquote. Because Enzo was on top of his game, and then that person accused him of rape, and he ended up being suspended and fired within, like, not even 24 hours. Big Cass is gone, because Big Cass pretty much proved that he needed Enzo. That Enzo was the mouthpiece. Enzo was the one that made that team interesting. Cass was just the one saying, S-A-W-F-T, so talking in his what was that fucking... Oh, that speak and spell. He's basically a human speak and spell. He couldn't really cut a promo. He couldn't have a good match. He couldn't have a good match with Daniel Bryan. If you can't have a good match with Daniel Bryan, something's wrong with you. And they finally realized, hey, he's gone. If only they would just do the same thing to Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley. And pretty much a lot of the other fucking roster, like Sheamus. But that's just me. That's neither here nor there. Yeah, Big Cass is gone. I'm assuming they also had to make room for James Ellsworth and a couple other people. Someone else has actually released Dana Brooke, which, again, not that shocking, not that surprising. It is shocking that she was in the company for that long. I know she made a tweet like a couple days ago saying, I miss wrestling. I just want to be sure this is legit, because somebody made a fake picture saying that Finn Balor was released, which I don't see that happening. Was she really released? I don't see it here. Yeah, my lovely girlfriend just walked into the room. Yeah, I don't see it here. I guess that was a fake too. Awkward silence. Oh, so I guess that wasn't true. Anyways, moving on to, I guess, more different topics. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to move shit around while my girlfriend is being cochina. Anywho, another bit of news. I guess we'll move on. I can't talk today. Moving on to basketball news. Kawhi Leonard. The Kawhi Leonard drama. The ever-going drama of Mr. Leonard. I just want this to kind of be over, whether it ends good or bad. So, Greg Popovich apparently flew out to San Diego on Tuesday to go meet with Kawhi Leonard to ease over the tension, see what the fuck's going on. And there have been multiple reports about how it went. One report said it went good, and one report, people keep insisting that he still wants to get traded. The talk is that Kawhi told Pop he felt betrayed when Tony Parker made those comments, saying, "Well, my quad injury was 1,000 times worse or 100 times worse," which he shouldn't have said that, and fuck him for saying that. And he didn't like how Pop, was going public in the media, he wasn't really bashing him, but he kind of was subtly bashing him when he said, hey, we have to get ready for the postseason without him. He's either ready or not. So they're both right and they're both wrong. A lot of people insist, including Skip Bayless, who's a Spurs fan, that Kawhi just didn't want to play. I don't know. I've never really seen guys just sitting out not wanting to play. Especially if you're someone who's getting paid a ass ton of money. Like he is. You're getting paid, $30 million for this year? And you didn't want to play? So, I don't know. Basically, going back is that he had a bruised thigh and he wanted to sit out. And he went to another doctor besides the team's, actual doctor, and got a second opinion. Which, to the Spurs, kind of felt like a slap in the face, where it's like, oh, what, you don't trust our doctor? You don't trust our word? So, I mean, I don't blame Kawhi for wanting to go getting a second opinion, because he knows his body. If the team doctor is saying, hey, you're good to go, but inside you're feeling, I don't know, there's still kind of tenderness around that area. I still feel a little... I still can't walk, I still can't run, blah, blah, blah. Can't run right. So I'm going to go get a second opinion. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. I don't know what's going on in Kawhi's mind. I don't know what's going on in Greg Popovich's mind. I can't speak for any of them because I don't work for the Spurs. I wish I did, but I don't. So, and tomorrow is the NBA draft. Currently the Spurs have the 18th pick. So we'll pretty much find out by then what happened. If Kawhi is traded to wherever, then we'll know how that meeting went. If he's not, if he is signed to his $219 million deal, then we'll know everything went fine. Apparently the talk came out last week that he wanted a trade and he wanted to go to the Lakers, which, come on. Nobody wants to go to the Lakers. Nobody wants to play for the Lakers. Do not trade Kawhi Leonard to the Lakers. Unless it's for Kyle Kuzma or Brandon Ingram. Or if you're trying to get rid of Luol Deng's contract, I'm fine for that. Do not bring Lonzo Ball here. Do not bring that cancer Do not bring that piece of shit who has all that money who can't fix his fucking teeth, LeVar Ball. The Spurs do not want that shit anywhere near their team. Lonzo, yes. But keep LeVar away. Keep LeVar and the rest of his crazy-ass family away. Moving on to another topic. Today, the trailer for Creed 2 came out. And it looks fucking awesome. It is set to the music of DNA by Kendrick Lamar. Well, I'm digging his style, by the way. What I can gather from it is what's already been said about it is that he's going to fight Ivan Drago's son. They've already showed who he is. They didn't show Drago Senior in the movie. They only basically at the end of the trailer they showed a guy wearing a red hoodie. He turns around and it says Drago on the back. So he's fighting Drago's son. And it's pretty obvious how it's going to go. I'm pretty hyped to see that. The first Creed was a huge success. I don't think anyone saw how successful that movie was going to be until they actually watched it. Because I think when you heard the premise, like, this movie was going to be about Apollo Creed's son, it's like, what? I mean, we loved Apollo Creed, we loved Carl Weathers, but, why? I'm not sure if people would want to see that. You watch it, and it was, like, one of the best reviewed movies of the year. And it sparked Michael B. Jordan's, success as a leading man. And then look what happened. He goes to Marvel, becomes Killmonger, one of the greatest, probably the best MCU villain of all time. And Tessa Thompson goes to Marvel and goes to Thor, and becomes a fucking badass. And Sly Stallone, who's still the man, can't argue with that. So, and Ryan Coogler, from what I heard, he's not directing this next one. I gotta put this fucking microphone right over here. I was holding my microphone because lately when I listen to the show, I'll hear like that type of sound. I was talking to Anthony Missionary Thomas from Wrestling Soup. He told me the reason why that might be is because, it's either A, like a fan, or there's, I might need to put like some padding up on the walls. So, I don't know. I think it's just the mic. But let me look this up. Who's directing Creed 2? Stephen Caple Jr. I literally have no clue what that is. He directed The Land, Grown-ish, 2 episodes of Grown-ish. No clue. Never heard of any. Well, I've heard of Grown-ish. I just never watched it. The Land is a. Apparently, it hasn't even came out yet. Well, it did. I don't see who the freaking actors are. Yeah, it's not really telling me a freaking plot to this movie. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, Creed 2 looks like it's going to be a hit. We're watching that. It's either going to be really corny, which, I mean, the Rocky movies are always corny, but they're always enjoyable to watch, except Rocky 5. That was not good. Comes out in November 21st of this year. Dolph Lundgren will come back to play Ivan Drago. Florian Montinou will play Victor Drago. Wonder if they're going to bring back Brigitte Nielsen. Doubt it. Let's look at this dude, Florian Montinou. What the fuck? Yeah, so this thing's being weird. Yeah, check out that Creed 2 trailer. It's worth watching. I wouldn't lie to you. this last bit of news we can cover to close out the show. Yeah, these solo shows, I try to go at least maybe 50 minutes, 40, 50 minutes. We'll see how this works. I'm trying to get used to these. Probably shouldn't say that loud. The whole thing with Chris Hardwick. This happened last week. I'm not sure when. But basically what it came down to was Chris Hardwick, who's has his own podcast, the Idiot Podcast, which he used to do the Nerdist podcast, but then he branched out and I guess did his own thing. Host of AMC's Talking Dead, Fear of the Talking Dead. I think that's what it's called. Basically, he's a whore for AMC. Has his own show after midnight. Does a show on NBC called The Wall. He basically has been, I guess, exposed as being a jerk. Let me try and pull it up. I can't find it. Come on. The fuck? I like how this shit literally just came out last week and now I can't find it. Alright, let's see if I can just tap in extra. Chloe Daxtra exposes Chris Hardwick. Okay, basically, Chloe Dykstra, what I noticed her from was a video that Max Landis did. It was called Wrestling Isn't Really Wrestling, I believe, where it was about Triple H, and she actually played the role of Triple H, which I thought was interesting. They had a lot of girls play the guy roles. What the fuck can I find anything? Okay. Chloe and Chris dated from 2012 to 2014. She actually didn't name Chris by name, but due to the details she references, including the fact that she's almost 20 years older than... He's almost 20 years older than Dykstra, a mildly successful podcaster to a powerhouse CEO of his own company, that's basically Chris. And forced her to take an on-camera job at his company I didn't want. I'm just quoting her. It's widely believed that she was referring to Hardwick. According to Dykstra, the two began dating in her early 20s after meeting at a convention. However, it didn't take long enough for him to display controlling behavior, quote-unquote, including isolating her from her friends, forcing her to remain in their hotel during Comic-Con, and not allowing her to drink. Dykstra also wrote that he pressured her into sex, which she said she went along with it out of the fear of losing him. One night, and I said, "I'm sorry, can we not tonight? I'm feeling really sick due to the fact that she was struggling with anorexia." He responded, "I just want to remind you, the reason why my last relationship didn't work out is because of lack of sex. It was a veiled threat. I succumbed." Later in her essay, Dykstra also provides some important insight into the effect his emotional manipulation and abuse had on her. "I believe that, to borrow an analogy from a friend, if I kept digging, I would find water. And sometimes I did, just enough to sustain me." What? Okay. "And when you're dying of thirst, the water is the best water you'll ever drink. When you're alienated from your friends, there's no one to tell you that there's a drinking fountain 20 feet away. And when your self-worth reaches such depths after years of being treated like you're worthless, you might find that you think you deserve that sort of treatment, and no one else will love you. That said, after 3 years of being snapped, yelled at constantly, very rarely being shown any affection, Dykstra eventually left. And of course she got a lot of love from Twitter. I don't know. When I heard this news, it didn't click. Because it just... I just, when I see Chris Hardwick, I don't see that type of guy, though. And also because, Chris is a short dude. His girlfriend was, like, a lot taller than him. I mean, granted, you can still be short and you can kind of be a piece of shit. But it just, when I see Chris Hardwick, I don't get that vibe. I mean, granted, you don't know how people are like, behind closed doors. Is Chris Hardwick, kind of pompous and arrogant and full of himself? Maybe. Absolutely. Probably. All signs point to yes. A woman beater, a rapist, kind of a piece of shit. I don't know. Again, I don't get that vibe. There's people that I get that vibe from, and I don't get that vibe from him. Moving on. TMZ has obtained and released the breakup text that Hardwick sent to Chloe, which I'm going to attempt to try and read this whole text. Because I saw it the other day and I'm like, yeah, I'm not reading that. So, bear with me, guys. me. This is from Chris Hardwick, dated July 1st, 2014. 3:51 p.m. to Chloe Dykstra. Some things have recently come to my attention. I believe I have a much more accurate picture about everything that's been going on, particularly with you and Sam. Kind of pause there. Apparently, because Chris Hardwick, spoke out, he said that the real reason him and Chloe broke up is that he found out that she was cheating. Anyways, Sam, I guess Sam was the guy she was messing around with. I know you maintain that this separation was about your freedom and finding yourself, which I would be a dickhead to deny you, but it's silly to say that he has nothing to do with it all. Even though we're technically not together and have no responsibility to me any longer, it all started while we were together, and its continuation, quite frankly, almost destroyed me. I felt worthless, replaceable, and disrespected by your choice of a guy that I have to work with. Ooh, this is a guy he has to work with. I realize that my emotions are my problem, and now that I've had some time alone thinking a lot more clearly about everything, as such, I'm done with you and all of this, and I'm moving on. No more taking a break. No more maybe we can be together at some point. We're just done. You will now have no residual ties to me and should feel comfortable doing whatever you want. This should be good news, as you will now not have to sneak around Lodge, I don't know what that is, and SDCC, nor will you have to pretend that you just ran into each other like at E3. I don't plan on going public with any of this, and just know that I will never speak ill of you on the podcast, in stand-up, or on social media, or whatever. My position will be that we simply parted ways, and wish you the best. It is my hope that you will do the same. That's just the first sentence. Oh boy. Fuck. Damn, Chris, why do you have to write such a long-ass text message? Basically, what I'm gathering from this, and I'm not siding with anyone, just to make that clear, I'm not siding with Chloe, I'm not siding with Chris, I'm just saying, I don't get the vibe from Chris. I get the vibe of maybe being a little pompous and full of himself, but I don't get, that he's a woman beater and that he's, treats women like shit. I just don't get it from him. I'm not saying this because I'm a guy. I'm just saying, I will say the same thing about women. If a woman did the same thing, I would say the same about a woman. Like, I don't get that vibe from her. So, I don't know. Basically what it came down to is, she cheated with a guy named Sam that, apparently was working for Chris at the Nerdist. and that she would, sneak around and pretend that she would bump into him, or she'd do the whole, "Hey, it's you, I haven't seen you in forever." Or, while Chris was apparently while Chris was doing, Comic-Con panels, Chloe was, fucking this guy in the hotel right across the street. Again, this is Chris's words. I'm just reading them, and I'm trying to dissect it as it goes. Ah, boy. Sentence 2. Chris's text message to Chloe. It breaks my heart that things didn't work out, but at the end of the day, I just didn't deserve what happened, and I'm starting to really understand that now. Okay. What you and Sam did was, not hyperbole, the worst thing anyone has ever done to me. The cheating aside, which you said you never do, you carried on an emotional affair for who knows how long, which you said was the worst thing that anyone can do in a relationship. I feel foolish that I actually had hope the last couple of weeks because of your texts and declarations of wanting to come back to me. But now I see that it was just a way for you to have emotional safety net to feel okay with what you were doing whenever Sam wasn't in the room with you. But it's not okay with me. You were very much involved with him, but still stringing me along by giving me hope one day and dashing it in the next. That was totally unfair. I believe you don't. I see now that when I was on stage thanking you for being with me at that award show, your heart was with him. We were living a lie. I don't know how deep it actually all goes, but based on some things that have come to light, I suspect it's way worse than I know. Some part of me has known for a while, but I just didn't want to believe it. In spite of everything, still poured my heart out to you, still made you music, still begged you to come back to me. I was dumb, but that has faded. I no longer trust you, and that will make any future attempts at reconciliation very difficult. Not that you're asking me for that. I believe you tell a lot of different stories to a lot of different people, including yourself. Next sentence. I need some water. I'm certainly not blaming you for all your problems. I know I'm a pain in the ass and that I work too much and I have trouble snapping out of work mode. I know that I get insecure and frustrated easily and that you sense hesitation from me. But I swear on everything that I have any hesitation you sense from me was me being in my own head and flustered trying to figure out how to fix it all. I'm a fixer. Even when it isn't wanted, I guess. I'm not always the best communicator. Yes, I'm working on fixing that. All that said, it doesn't justify what happened, and it kills me to know that you honestly believe that I didn't love you and didn't make every effort I could try to make you happy. You must know that I'm an okay guy and really did have the best of intentions. You must know that I was your biggest cheerleader and would hold your sweet face in your darkest moments. It's kind of weird. While looking into your eyes and insisting that, yes, you are special and you do love and good things. I would have absolutely stayed by your side and figured this out with you. At a certain point, I think you just didn't believe me because you batted a lot of it away. The other theory that's been swirling in my head, now that I have that I have some perspective, is that maybe you just lost interest in me, but didn't want to admit it. I think you were trying to create situations to get excited about me because you just didn't want to feel it anymore. I'm the vanilla guy. All I can say is I did the best I could. Last sentence. I would have done anything within my power to give you happiness, but ironically, perhaps, extracting myself from your life will finally grant you that so you can be with Sam or whomever. Or no one ultimately and make those young stupid choices that are so important to you right now during this personal, I don't know how to say this word, rumspringa? What the fuck is rumspringa? This text is not intended to attack you or purposely make you feel bad or point the finger. I don't want to create any more hurt that has already occurred. It's just the expression of a lot of thought and reflection that I've had the last couple of days mixed with some new information. since we met up at the hotel. Unless under an extreme circumstance, I do not plan on contacting you again. I really just need to heal up and get on with my life. You may never know how sad I am that it got to this point. Despite everything, I still love you and will always deeply cherish the time we had together and the amazing experiences we shared, many of which were the most significant ones in my life. Goodbye, Chloe. And that's the end of his 3-paged paragraph, his 3-paged essay paper. And here's Chloe. July 1st, 2014, 3:53 p.m. from Chloe Dexter. Please don't. Please let me talk. Please, give me 10 minutes. Just give me that. Christopher. Okay. I will always love you. I will always love you. You'll always be my favorite person. And I'm sure I will always regret this. And I'm sure you'll get some broken emails in the next few months. But I'll never stop loving you. Goodbye, hot guy. Goodbye, hot guy. This is dated January 27th, 2015, 8:24 p.m. So this is 6 months after that last text message. Hey, when can we be okay? Will that ever happen? We both handle this poorly, possibly myself more so. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have texted you. I think I just got caught up in a wave. I hope things are awesome with you. End text. Wow, that was a mouthful. I don't know. It's hard to side with anyone on this. I mean, in this new era of Me Too, you're a dick if you side with the guy. So it's just I don't get, like I said, I don't get that vibe from Chris Hardwick. I don't. I respect him. I respect what he's done with his career. I mean, when I started listening to podcasts, his was one of the first ones I listened to. And with Chloe, I don't know her that well. I obviously don't know Chris Hardwick. I don't know how he is behind, closed doors. So I can't judge him. But again, I just don't get that vibe. I'm just gonna go with the latter. I'm gonna side with Chris Hardwick. I just can't get that vibe from him. With Chloe, it just seems like, and as harsh as this is to say, this seems like a payday. It seems like she wants a payday. Because all this just doesn't add up. You look at these text messages, and it's kind of hard to side with Chloe. I mean, it's kind of hard to side with Chloe. And, with Chris Hardwick, he's already had his, shit. He's already had his, shit pulled. Nerdist, which is the company he helped found, they took him off their website. They basically, scrubbing him from memory. He's gone from AMC. His show on NBC is more likely to be gone. And now you have people coming out and just trashing him. Pull that up. Lydia Hurst, his wife, his mother-in-law, her mother defended him. Can't find all of them at once. Come on. So I know Adam Carolla apparently defended him. I know somebody who works at Nerdist. They came out and just said that, he's trash. It didn't really say who it was. It just showed some blonde girl working for Nerdist saying, Chris Hardwick is a piece of trash, and I believe women, which, okay. At the end of the day, we can't. It's hard to decide for it because in this whole Me Too era, you're either damned if you do or damned if you don't. You're a piece of trash. You don't side with the woman. Not saying that all women are wrong. Not saying all women are right, because when this whole Me Too movement started, it was about taking down the rich and the powerful, like Harvey Weinstein, which I'm all for that. I'm personally waiting for them to take down the fucking sick pedophiles in Hollywood. But then it just became a witch hunt. Now it's like, it's like with the story. Say it's true. Say Chloe Dykstra did cheat on Chris Hardwick. The story is that I know I cheated, but I can't say that because then it's going to make me feel like a horrible person, so let me take down his career. Which I didn't intend to do, which they all fucking say. So, I don't think they should have canceled his show. But then again, in this whole Me Too era, that's kind of what you have to do nowadays, because the kind of audience that he attracts, they're not going to take this shit lightly. They're going to go after him for it. So it's just, I hope it gets sorted out. I hope, I hope Chris Hardwick isn't the jerk that we now are believing he is. But, yeah, it is what it is. We're never going to know what really happened. Anywho, that's pretty much all I have on the docket tonight. I'm looking at the time. I went an hour talking because I actually, for the first time, doing a solo show, I actually got my homework. I actually wrote down shit to do. I made a fucking outline. So, hooray for me. Anyways, next show we're going to do is Sunday. I'm going to have Jesus on. From the way it looks, we're going to do a Jurassic World review. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which we're seeing on Friday. Which, those movies are usually hit or miss, because they kind of have the same plot. I mean, they're still entertaining to watch. I'm still going to pay money to watch it. But you can already guess what's going to happen. So look out for that on Sunday. We might do a live show. You know what? Yeah, we're going to do a live show. These solo shows are going to take some time getting used to, especially since I made this schedule every Wednesday and Sunday. Sundays usually being optional. Every Wednesday at 6:30 here on Spreaker. Live most of the time. Next Tuesday, I will more than likely put out a recorded show. Partly because next Tuesday is the anniversary of me and my girlfriend, being together. So I will be putting out a recorded show of this. I'll record it on probably Monday and put it out Tuesday. So look out for that. Other than that, guys, to whoever did listen, thank you. Thank you for supporting the show if you support the show. As far as other shows to look for, make sure you look out for Devin's podcast, EIS, ICE. It's pretty good shit on there. He mentioned before on the show that he's kind of giving it a giant facelift. Another podcast to look out for is ARC Attack. ARC Attack. It's with a friend of mine named Derek and his friend Irving. They basically cover all things nerd. You can find them on iTunes and Podbean. Some other good podcasts to look for is Texas Podcast Massacre, like I mentioned earlier. My friend Jesus, he's been talking about doing his podcast. I think this Friday I'm going to help him set him up. I'm going to help him set it up already. What else? And of course, if you're a wrestling guy, or if you just like hearing, a bunch of guys, shoot the breeze, shoot the shit, just dudes being dudes, listen to Wrestling Soup, and don't let the name fool you. The tagline is, we're not really a wrestling show, we're just a show that happens to be talking about wrestling. So look out for that. Great stuff. You'll love those guys. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, listen to them. Like, they're entertaining as fuck to listen to. I love them. And the Don Tony Kevin Castle Show. It's the cornerstone of podcasts. Don Tony's the man. Love him or hate him, you gotta respect him at least. He's been doing this for, I believe it was 98. And that was when they were doing phone lines. And also, if you have a Patreon account, if you sign up to Patreon, if you got like $5, just go to Wrestling Soup and DTKC's Patreon account. Just $5, not $50, just $5. You got $5, just sign up. You'll get all kinds of cool shit I'm a loyal Patreon member, donor. You won't regret it. Trust me, they got some good stuff up there. And I was actually thinking about doing a Patreon account, but my girlfriend pretty much said you might want to wait till people actually do want to pay for your stuff. Which, to her credit, yeah, she's right. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for listening, and I will see you on Sunday. Peace.